revenue up 54% year over year. And Josh, you know, look, I got to admit, I did not see this reaction in the market coming from this report. Apple is now negative today. And if you would have told me going in for a stock that really hasn't been a barn burner going into the number, that it was going to blow out its report to the magnitude at which Apple did, and it would be negative when we come on the air, what gives?
Well, I guess, can we agree on the idea that stocks are anticipatory and that people investing in equities are doing so on the basis of what they think will happen rather than what just happened? Like, do we have some common ground there, Scott, before I continue?
Well, we do, but the stock hasn't done anything year to date. It's not like there was a massive run right into the number, so you get a little sell on the news. I get you there, but I'm surprised by this reaction.
The stock has added almost $1.5 trillion in market cap over the last 24 months.
Okay, so then that's it.
I'm at a loss for what. I guess I'm trying to understand, like, what more, like, how much more. It's 35 times earnings. It's added more in market cap than almost any other publicly traded company has in total market cap in the last 2 years, because people understand that things have been getting better and better and better for Apple. So sometimes great news comes out, you get a lackluster reaction because everyone has already been bidding up the stock in advance of that news. I wish there were like a more exciting and interesting explanation. People have made a ton of money in this stock expecting great results. Great results have now rewarded those investments that had already been made. And now stock investors say, okay, what's next?
That's one person's opinion. That's fair. You're entitled to have that. Degas, is it the right opinion, though? Is it the right reason? Why isn't Apple up today? Is it because of what Josh said?
Yeah, I think I agree with Josh. I think what we're seeing is that the value has already been put into the price but if you look at the ecosystem that Apple has, I mean, the iPad, the Mac, the wearables, and then the iPhone, it's still a solid investment. It's very popular stock. Everyone knows about it, so they drove up the price. But this still is a good hold because the narrative around this story has not changed.
All right, so what are you guys telling me? This is as good as it gets? Is that the issue here, Josh? This is as good as it gets? Is that what some of the selling is?
I don't think it's as good as it gets, but it's not a cheap stock. It's obviously fully pricing in that the company will continue to execute, which it is. And then the question is, like, they're going to buy back almost $100 billion more in stock than we thought 2 days ago. So that process whereby they continue to shrink the share count, thereby boosting the earnings per share, and also thereby boosting your share of what the earnings are if you continue to hold, that's been a huge tailwind for Apple shareholders for the last decade, a decade during which people were concerned. Apple can't grow anymore, they can't innovate. Yes, but they can continue to shrink the share count. So this stock can trade higher, and that $2.25 trillion market cap doesn't necessarily have to skyrocket along with that higher share price. Warren Buffett has written about this at length in his recent annual letters, that phenomenon whereby Berkshire's stake in Apple keeps going up, so do the earnings, so does the share price. I think that can continue to happen for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. You just won't necessarily see the stock price get credit for that on any one day. So I think we have to open the aperture a little bit wider.